Thanks, Sally, for talking with us here at the Brilin Centre. We've known you for well over 7 years now, and you've almost become part of the furniture. Tell us a little bit about your journey.
I was first introduced to Brilin by a friend who knew about Brilin, and I had just gone down the medical path with cervical cancer, and being that it was an unusual type that the specialist was something she hadn't come across before, and she had advised surgery and outlined the potential side effects, I decided there was no way I was going to go down that path. So at that point, I didn't know about Brilin, but when I spoke to a friend about the situation, she said straight away, I'll take you up there. You need to go up and have a look, which I did do, and I felt really quite comfortable about, where it was all at, but I still went away and thought about it for a couple of weeks before I decided to dive in, boots and all. It was the best thing I ever did. I met other amazing people who were actually on much tougher journeys than myself, but who were filled with positivity and great advice, and Brilin itself, Philip, William, Ron, all gave me such amazing advice and positive vibes that I really dug in and committed myself to following down that path. And at the end of it, not only had I came out with a clean bill of health, but had learnt so much, gained so much knowledge, and made such amazing friends that will always now be in my life, that it's completely changed my world. And now I live every day, most of the time, I live every day with all that positivity. I breathe well, I eat well, I sleep well, and I'm just grateful for waking up every morning and being so well and happy, really. And I can thank my Brilin journey for that.
And Brilin can thank you too, because you've put quite a number of friends and family our way as well, and I think hit the nail on the head. I think when you actually meet other people on the same journey, that's and you're seeing they're doing the same things that you're doing, and they're getting results as well. It sort of bolsters your belief system in what you're doing.
Oh, it does, and it makes you feel comfortable that that you're on the right path.
Of course, Brilin won't make any claims, or certainly not taking any responsibility for your success that you're now medically clear of cancer. It was your own journey, really, wasn't it? And you've done a lot of other things other than Brilin as well. And but what Brilin has hoped to do is help put you on certain pathways and provide that support to you. Would that be a fair comment?
Oh, absolutely. And I think that if you're in the headspace that you're on the right path and you're doing the right thing, then it makes it much easier to, broaden that path and be strong about staying on that path. I mean, it's the old, not that I was, going to die or anything like that, but, I often hear people saying those comments like, oh, well, you might as well make the most of it. But the way that I look at things, which might sound a bit stupid, is just that, you know what, I'd rather turn down that piece of cake or that sandwich or whatever, basically, the key to good health is staying away from sugar and grain, and just for starters, and they say everything in moderation, but for me the moderation is just like only that, because I'd rather be well, and that's what it's all about.
And I think, unfortunately, kind of as you pointed out, once the C word, once cancer's been mentioned, people automatically associate that with a death sentence. And it's been proven now that as soon as you've been given a time frame or a prognosis, the body will start complying with that. So if your oncologist said you've got 6 months to live, then you'll automatically start dying, and you will usually comply with those doctors' instructions. And I think that's the very sad thing that we see here. And unfortunately, as you've witnessed, because you've seen a lot of people come through yourself, is that sometimes it's, people come with us after they've exhausted every possible avenue already. But the people that come to us in the early stages, they seem to do quite well. And you've witnessed that, have you?
Definitely. And the thing is too, like I say about, you might as well make the most of it. That's what often happens with people on that journey, that, as you say, they come too late, really. They've exhausted all other avenues, whereas if they had started earlier and sooner, and they would have, learnt a little bit more about their immune system and how to fight things off. And as Philip always says, you have to have the right mindset, and you have to have a big belief bucket.
Well, I think there are certain pillars of cancer cure, if you want to call it that. I first of all, I believe we misunderstand cancer. Cancer to me is an internal process, a natural internal process to protect you to begin with. So tumour perhaps shouldn't be so feared as much as it is. What you should be fearing is the driving forces behind that. And what we do see is trauma and mind-related issues are big contributing factors to that, along with many other things as well, of course. And so I'm going to be producing other videos on that particular subject. Well, thank you very much for talking with us. Is there anything you'd like to say?
Well, really, basically, the outcome may have been just the same had I gone down the medical path. However, the outcome from going through Brilin has totally changed my world, because it has taught me about the path to health and happiness. And so 7 years down the line, my life is basically great because I chose that path.